For the time being, Cadillac is still producing the XT5, which is a super solid luxury SUV. I'll include a link to the Cadillac and Salt Lake's website in the description down below. They're providing us with this XT5. If you have any questions, need any help, just ask for Zaid. Let's get right into it. This is your last chance to win this Porsche Cayman GT4 RS. So use code BHC or click the link in the description down below or in the pinned comment. Any donation, $25 or more, will get you 4x bonus entries into the giveaway. Powering this is a turbo 2-liter 4-cylinder that goes through a 9-speed. Fuel economy is 22 around town, 29 on the highway, with power outputs being 235 horsepower and then 258 pound-feet of torque. If you're able to, I'd really appreciate it if you'd subscribe. It massively helps out the channel. Lots of sharp lines here on the hood, and then I love the Cadillac headlight design, how you've got the light that kind of goes all the way down to the fog light region. That looks really cool. But other than that, this is obviously a lot different compared to the new Cadillacs. When it comes to design, it's a lot more understated compared to, yeah, the new stuff. 235 by 55 by 20 is a tire and wheel setup. You've got silver with metallic gray on the wheels, body painted fender flares with this too. And there's a lot of chrome trim on the side. I mean, you can see the wheels pop out a bit, but look at the trim, the door handles around the windows as well. When it comes to key fob features, we've got our lock and unlock function, remote start, the opening for the hatch, and then the Cadillac logo on the back. Looks like we got these tabs to fold down the seats. That was pretty quick with the actuation. Now, if we peek down below, it does fold down flat. Anyways, there's a cargo cover built in from the factory. We have cargo netting here in the back as well, and good storage space. Overall, it does kind of slope a little bit in the back though, which kind of gets rid of some vertical space, but not bad. And then, boom. The taillights have a similar design to the headlights with how they kind of pop down, and then you got lots of chrome with all the badging. That will cap things off for the exterior on the XT5. Keyless entry even for the back, and let's check it out. Nice wood trim. I like the brown trim too, so you've got a lot of color contrast on the door panel, and even the speaker looks fancy. Speaking of fancy, look at the coloration on these seats. I think that's beautiful. Legroom back here is good. I got a little storage pocket, heated seats. I got my own climate zone too, and there's nice controls for all of it. Got vents here on the back, and then headroom, it's not great. It does slope back a bit, and the sunroof kind of pulls things down, but panoramic sunroof. Keyless entry for up front, and let's check that out. Blind spot monitoring with the mirrors, double pane windows up front. Again, more speakers for the sound system. Memory seats, front two windows are automatic, and then you got more nice trim in the door panel. Beautiful with the front seat. All of your power adjustments on the side. You got lumbar support too, it looks like. Controls for the heads-up display to the left of the steering wheel, and the steering wheel itself is power adjustable. And yeah, heads-up display. Nice bit of modern tech. Now with the steering wheel, I've got the Cadillac emblem there, more wood trim. I like how the heated steering wheel button's on the steering wheel. But yeah, soft touch all around the wheel itself. The gauge cluster is partially analog, partially digital, but yeah, that screen there in the center lets you change the information that's displayed depending on what you're looking for with the vehicle. And then it'll also show you what drive mode you're going into. This does come with a 360 camera system. It's got good resolution. So you have a bunch of different angles with the vehicle. And then as for the infotainment system, it's quick to respond, has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. It's got kind of a slant there, which is interesting. Like the whole dash is slanted rather than vertical. Now, I guess these aren't truly physical, but kind of physical for the heated, cooled seats, and then climate control is always accessible. That's the important thing. And then I like how you just have some stitching there for like a little phone holder or whatever. That's kind of cool. More stitching on that too. Some cup holders, shifter there for the 9-speed. Physical controls for the infotainment system. You've got your stability and then drive mode. Phone charging pad in front, and then plenty of storage inside. I do like the trim there on the top. Camera rear view mirror, and then like I said, panoramic sunroof. $59,565 is the total MSRP. Let's see how it performs. Let us set off in the XT5. So Cadillac's making some interesting decisions, if you ask me. Apparently this has been redesigned, and the XT6 has been redesigned for the Chinese market, ICE versions. The XT6 no longer exists in the US market. 2025 is last year, and this is gonna go all the way to 2027. So yeah, I just find it interesting. Like, why are they not giving us the new ones here in the US market? And I mean, the market shifted a lot too, right? Everyone was gung-ho on EVs just a couple years ago, but now there's been a lot of pullback, and so Cadillac's kind of in this weird place where a lot of their lineup is electric. But people want hybrid or ICE. Hybrid, I mean, let me tell you, that's what I talk to dealers, and it's kind of interesting. It doesn't matter what brand. It doesn't matter if it's Toyota, Cadillac, Mercedes, you know, Ford, it doesn't matter. Every single dealer tells me the same thing. Most of the customers coming in are all asking about hybrids. They're all asking about hybrids, so it's very interesting. But man, this drives well. It's comfortable. Again, you got the double pane windows, so it helps out with the insulation. I like the baseball mitt seats. I know some people are kind of critical of that type of coloration, that type of style, but I think it looks cool. And the torque is good. Again, it's a 2-liter, but you know, the 9-speeds, it's smooth. It's not like the sportiest feeling transmission. Their 10-speed's definitely a lot better. But it does well for itself. I like the suspension over the train tracks, that's nice. Yeah, this does a good job at being a luxury car, I think. The biggest critique I could say is being a 2-liter 4-cylinder in an SUV like this feels a little bit peaky, but something to note, you can get this with a 3.6-liter V6. And that engine, I think, fits the character of this car a lot better, because it's got that smooth, linear power delivery that, well, an NA V6 can provide. This dash is interesting, how you have that kind of cutout for the vents and everything. Just realized that. Kind of a funky design in a way. And that's the thing, is modern car design for the interior is so difficult, because it used to be you just had to have space for the gauges and vents and some climate controls. It's pretty easy to design, whereas now it's like you got to fit the screen, and you got to fit the heads-up display into the dash, and you got to fit all this other techie stuff, and so it makes it so it's a lot harder to just design a simplistic dash. So you get these tiered dashes like this. So I think this drives well. You know, it'd be smart for Cadillac to bring the redesigned version to the US market. So that's my 2 cents. I think this is a good car. I think that Cadillac, like, you know, some other automakers, made the mistake of going too far into EVs too soon. There's demand for EVs, and I think the demand will increase down the road. But where the market's at right now, people want hybrids, people want ICE cars, and if you don't provide enough of that as a manufacturer, people are just going to shop elsewhere. People aren't brand loyal anymore. I think that's one thing these automakers they don't realize, is that back in the day, you'd have a person that would be just all in on one brand, whereas now, I mean, just drive down a suburban neighborhood. You don't see households with only one brand anymore. Like it used to be like, oh, the Johnsons, they drive Fords, and the Youngs, they drive Chevys. No, it's like you look at people's driveways and they'll have like 2 or 3 cars, and they'll all be a different brand, and not just a different brand, different manufacturers. So let me know what you guys think about the XT5. I do think that this is actually, the styling does look a little bit funky, but I think it's actually aged really well.